the US government's genocide determinations is very, very important for the Rohingya genocide victims and survivors, as well as the country, for Myanmar as a whole, because we do believe that the atrocity that has committed by the Myanmar military for several decades has been given impunity for the military, and the perpetrators of these heinous crimes remain unpunished. And that has emboldened the perpetrators, mainly the militaries in Myanmar, militaries leaderships in Myanmar, to actually stage the coup and to continue to commit this serious forms of violence against people, serious human rights violations against the entire country, people of Burma. Since the February coup 2021, the Myanmar military has actually killed over 1,600 people and detained over 20,000 people, including young students. Most of them are young students. And there has been severe forms of tortures against detainees, young people, and many forms of violence against the entire people of Burma as a whole. And many human rights organizations, including UN Office of the High Commissioners and international fact-finding, international independent missions of Myanmar, has actually expressed that the violence by the Myanmar military against people of Myanmar have been in nature widespread and systematic, and that amount to their crimes against humanity. And we believe that could only happen because the Myanmar military has enjoyed impunity for the previous crimes and ongoing crimes, including the crimes of genocide against the Rohingya populations for decades. So we do think that these determinations will give us opportunity to end the impunity for the Myanmar military and to push the world leaders to take responsibilities to help us end impunity for the military and hold the military leaders accountable, so that we will be able to end dictatorships in Myanmar. We will be able to end all of this violence, attack against the people, and militarizations, and we will have a chance to rebuild the country. We will have a chance to really build democracy in Myanmar. So it's mean a lot for not only for the Rohingya, but also for entire country and other people who have suffered severely from the military's violence. I hope to see the US government taking prompt, rigorous, and concerted actions after the determinations. It has to be followed by the concerted actions. That means using all available means and tools that US has, including adopting legislations by the Congress, including the Burma Act, as well as the US government putting sanctions on Myanmar militaries, sanctions on the oil and gas, and arms embargo, and most importantly, taking leadership at the UN Security Council, adopting resolutions on Myanmar that include accountability, that include financial penalties and global arms embargo, and that include the support for the victims of genocide. And I also want to see the US government dedicate resources and funding for the victims and survivors of genocide in Myanmar and other crimes. I also want to see the US government encouraging other countries and other governments to take the similar actions. And I really hope that other governments will follow as well. The US government at this point should not let the Myanmar in the hands of the ASEAN, and ASEAN already has proven that they cannot solve the Myanmar problem, Myanmar issue, and they cannot deal with the Myanmar military in a way it's supposed to be dealing with, which is the genocidal military. This military has to be punished, and the US government has a power to do, and I hope that they are going to take really concerted actions to hold the military leaders accountable. And one last thing, I think this is really, really important. This determinations for us, it feels like our voice and our urge and our seek for justice has been, responded, answered, or taken seriously. For many years, we felt that we were unheard. So now, finally, we feel like we are heard. So therefore, we think that any response from the US government, any support or any strategy should be really, really victim-centered, so that having a strong victim-centered approach may benefit everyone better, the victim communities, as well as the policymakers, as well as may help us end the crisis earlier. As an activist working on democracy, human rights, and peace building for years, what we want to see, our ultimate goal is to improve situations in Myanmar, to improve human rights situations, and to build democracy, to promote democracy, and to build peace in Myanmar, ultimately for all communities. And when we advocated for the accountability and justice for the Rohingya people, it's for the future of the country too. We have reminded the world that we cannot build democracy with the bones and bloods of Rohingya, while genocide is in the corner of of the yard. We cannot actually build democracy without addressing the genocide, and we felt like our voice were not taken seriously, our calls and our knowledge were not taken seriously, and we were sidelined, we were abandoned, we were sometimes even felt humiliated through the many forms of rejections by the different governments and policymakers around the world. So now that it's the determination has, for us, it's overdue. It's too late, but still, we still feel like this is something which is needed to be done, and we are thankful, and I am grateful that this happened. The US government made the atrocities determinations, and as a powerful nation on planet, on Earth, it is critical that the US government stand with us and help us and listen to our voices, people like our voices, and give us opportunity and chance to live in dignity, and build our future, our common future, in Myanmar.